So, the basis of empathic learning therapy is child-friendly, child likes it. She likes to do or he likes to do, and we do different things to increase the attention span, avadhana parasa. Now a child like this should be able to do something for about 10 to 15 minutes in any way that's there. She's still small, and increase the attention span to at least 10 to 15 minutes, and then to increase the attention depth, how much she will put thought into it. So that's how mother works at it, put thought into it, get her to put thought into it, and then make the thought processes as concentrated as possible. So make a panua, worm with the clay, and then turn it. Let's see how many times this can turn. So it doesn't sound like medical, but this is the way to get them to apply and improve their attention span. And then also these diagrams are drawn to get them to think out this process I have said here, prefrontal cortex. It should be hitamata karanona, executive, and empathic. She likes to do it, so you have to always give her things she likes to do. Then think and do, reflective. Then creative. Of course, at the level she can. She being 4 years, you said, no? Yeah. Now in the Montessori, she goes and stays for the 3 hours, 4 hours, or what?
3 hours.
She stays.
Yeah.
So the Montessori engages.
Yeah.
Each child has a teacher, or?
No, they have like 7 classes, 6-7 classes. They have
Right.
like one teacher for 20 kids.
Yeah. Quite a large Montessori, that means.
Yeah.
In your home area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One second.
You probably know that it's one of the sisters of Professor Lalith Mendis.
Right, yeah, he's from that area.
Yeah.
He's my teacher.
Fonseca, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
His
Rex
wife.
Fonseca is the husband of the lady.
Right. What's the telephone number?
John.
Very good to have such a, we'll get it later. Very good to get such a,
Relative of
yeah,
Professor
yeah,
Fonseca.
and such a, I mean, it looks a large place, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if they can engage her for the whole time of the Montessori, that means it's good engagement, that child can wait there like that. Ideally, 7 to a teacher, ideally. That will be about a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
But if the child is waiting the whole 3 hours or 4 hours, that means fairly good interaction is happening. So reflective, creative as much as possible. What do I say here? Initiation, navigation, avasane dakwa kirima, in conclusion, and good reward. The child feels, I did it, and you clap and things like that. So you can have at home also, there she goes on, things like that. So this is how you improve her, this thinking track. This is called the top-down regulation. For some reason in these children, there is another track in us, which is an automatic track, in the sense if you start sleeping on a banana leaf kind of thing, we won't think, quickly we do. So in some children, that thing has also got stimulated for some reason. Sometimes from the mother's womb, if there was pregnancy, hypertension, or some difficulty during pregnancy that the child began to feel physically, emotionally, or whatever, that there's this track is a useful track. We all have this track, where we do things facing up to unpleasant situations, listening to unpleasant conversations. They can hear the conversations through the mother's abdominal wall. They can know whether what's going on is pleasant or unpleasant. Even from the age of about 20 weeks in the womb, they show pleasant smiles and Not so present minds.
While in the womb.
While in the womb. Whether the child had impulsive, repetitive, reflexive, reactive, thrill-seeking, later on dangerous things and things like that. Dangerous can do particular try to climb down the stairway before she can. Normally children go to the stairway and they do that. So this kind of children may try to do things before their time because that inside mechanism of safety check back has got somehow, they'll dare to do things. So don't get scared, but I'm explaining to you to get her more and more onto think and do. So you have to have quite a few things available at home also to think and do. So seemingly you have a Montessori that is quite, as I told you, looks as if that it engages the child quite well. So after the child comes home also, you can't give the screen at all. That you have to get into your head. You can't, screen does not make brain tracks, it really ulcifies the brain tracks. Because the screen emanates blue light for one thing, so I often show parents the difference between those two bulbs. So the LED one emanates the blue light which inhibits melatonin secretion, and the brain neurochemical transmitters and so on for a child's creative pathways get inhibited, and the child goes on to this paninta pera sita balanu nemeka sitannata pera panala balanu kind of things. Even at her age, there are things they can think and do. When this nature is there, for whatever reason, the brain tracks have gone on like that, perfectly intelligent, sometimes very intelligent, but they will want to do 2-3 things at the same time. So you don't prohibit, but give her the things that she will like to do for at least 10-15 minutes without starting something, doing this, starting something, doing this. So you two have to decide what is it that she likes to do. Doing work with matty is with clay is one of the best brain forming activities, brain tract forming activities, quietening the brain tracks to always think and do and give enough time. This track says think, do, how did you do it, did it come well? Now children also think all that. So now she may be little past building blocks, but you can put building blocks also. Another thing is now this puzzle is far too complicated for her. It's a very small thing, and that puzzle should be done by our age people, I think. But you have puzzles of about 20 pieces, very thick, Donald Duck or whatever, Then she looks at the picture and the puzzle pieces are there. That activity of putting her fingers on the puzzle pieces and get it right, and then she has to plan. So at least a puzzle a day, and you might have to buy 3-4 puzzles in the sense of that she likes the shape, a ship, a vehicle, a flower, a Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, whatever. You have to give her variety that she will like. So such a puzzle, to put it together, she may take 10 to 15 minutes.
Let's start with 4 pieces.
Even 4 pieces, brilliant. Increase the number of pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, you will know the frequency, whether she can do a 8-piece puzzle in 2 weeks' time or not. Keep a tab like that. Then 4, wherever she moves, if it can be covered with lanu pedurak. Lanu pedurak කියන එක දන්නවනේ, අර choir weave කරලා choir අර කොහු වලින් අර පාපිසි වගේ weave කරන්නේ, දිගට roll කරන්න පුළුවන් එකක් 41ක් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් වැඩි හොඳයි, 41 අමාරුයි. Because more their soul, SOLE, begins to touch that ridges, the brain is getting signals of, as she moves the feet, her brain is adjusting to the feedback from the feet. So friction, gatiti, kali, ඒ ඔක්කොම රෙකෝඩ් වෙනවනේ. එයා ඇවිදිනකොට දැන් ස්මූත් පොළව ඇවිදිනකොට it's simple. අරකේ ඇවිදිනකොට අර ඔක්කොම all that gets fed into the brain, and that is good for brain tracts to get into this mode. So we are getting her brain tracts to think and do through all her activities. Did you understand that? ලනු පැදුරු එච්චර හොයන්න අමාරු නම් සාමාන්‍ය පැදුරු වුණත් හොඳයි. Rough carpet හොඳයි. I'm not saying to cover the whole house, but area that she moves around and things like that.
She has one. I mean, it's just a rough carpet, not that rough as a
Yeah.
කොහොමද?
කෝහ පැදුරු කෑල්ලකුත් පැත්තකින් දාන්න පුළුවන් නම්, so that automatically she walks over that also.
She will be bigger than a mat. පැදුර bigger එකකට
සාමාන්‍ය එක දිගයිනේ. හතරස්සේ හොයන්න අමාරු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So you got the principle. What else can you think of in your home context? Then the sandbox or the sand pit. මුහුදු වැලි වලින් පිට් එකක් හදා ගන්න ඕන. ලොකු එකක් ඕනේ නැහැ. අඩි 4ක් 5ක් 4-5 එකේ. And you put sand, sea sand into it, and a shovel and things like that. The sand is a geometric particle. So when she is working with, that sand pit එකකට දාන්න කියනවනේ ළමයි වර සෙල්ලම් කරන්න. When they are working in a sand pit and touching the sand, and the feet are also touching the sand, brain gets the right geometric messages to make the tracks in a thinking way. All those are motor stimuli that get their brain into thinking patterns. Also neurochemically, this kind of children are easily dopamine aroused. There's a jitteriness that dopamine tries to quickly get into something and they want to quickly do, even quickly speak. When you get this kind of activity, what we normally operate on is, there's a thing called NMDA and glutamate, think and do pathways. Then they re-establish themselves and that dopaminergic nature goes down. Child is no more too quick, not jittery. So usually this is called attention deficit, attention is less, hyperactivity and impulsivity, trying to do things too quickly. So all those can be turned over by this empathic learning therapy and empathic motor therapy. Then of course crayons, black cartridge paper, friction is highest with crayons and black cartridge. So that let's draw a circle, let's draw a dog, anything. Let's draw anything. So when you are working with crayon on black cartridge, they have to, with difficulty do it, with effort do it, more effort. And more intentional effort with fingers, eye movement and finger coordination. So these are really Montessori methods we are applying to get the child's brain tract into more and more normal pace kind of thing. As I said, she's talking and she's quite engaged there. So that's a good sign. Okay, so this is, so anything else that you can think of about electronic toys are no good. Because there's electronic toys, electronic lights and sounds they make are that any physical toy is good. Mechanical toys, you have vehicles that you make kalaneva or wine pit aneva, eaneka karane. Eya karana pramana thamai vehicle එක යන්නේ. To the extent the child is making effort, the vehicle will go. Wine karneva. And then this action of wine karne ka thonda action neka. But when it's just a switch, that fellow makes lights and makes sounds and makes movements, no point. That doesn't make brain right. That makes toys industry rich. Yeah. Yeah. And reduce on sugar, of course. Giving sugar to children is very foolish. So sugar makes jittery anyway. I mean, we all like to give them chocolates, but give a very low sugar chocolate. Yeah. I have found the lowest sugar chocolate is we take from New Zealand. It has low sugar. We take from New Zealand.
She knows a lot of brands.
That is if you want to give her a, parents like to give children little chocolate.
We
no?
take.
We take.
WIT.
Yeah, WHI.
Yes, Petio. Wow.
There may be other chocolates that are not so sweet. You get the idea. So it should be just fruit juices, no sugar. Particularly for a child like that, completely reduce sugar. Because anyway you have to give her a piece of cake and a bit of caramel and things like that will be given. So keep that bit of sugar rather than adding sugar for everything. You got the principle. Yeah, reduce sugar. Any other physical activity? Now, is there any possibility to take her for swimming?
She loves that.
Yeah,
I can't say.
yeah.
We don't
Swimming.
teach her, but she likes to
She likes
stay
to
in
be in
pool.
water. I mean, she always says, pool, let's go to pool.
Yeah.
Also, there are these rubber dinghy things, no, that are,
Yes,
you can
yes.
inflate it but then you have to supervise where it's water. Even that action of trying to wade through water is a brain coordinating activity. So swimming and ice hockey are the most brain coordinating sports. Yeah. Since we can't play ice hockey here, take to swimming. Yeah.